She recognized the tree. She placed her hand on it, and immediately, the tree lit up. An energy seemed to course through her, and the fog in her memory was lifted. She knew everything. One bright sunny day, Princess Nola went to the market to get some items for dinner. The Queen tried to instill humble virtues in her, so that she could understand the plights of the people she would one day rule over. The people were glad to see the princess, and they cheered, most trying to get her to buy their wares. She was courteous, respectful, and nice, the attributes of a future queen. Her gaze fell upon an aged woman who sold fish. The woman seemed impoverished but nice. Nola felt inclined to patronize her. Such was her heart. She looked over the woman's fish, laid out in a beautiful arrangement. The woman immediately got up and better displayed her wares for Nola to make a choice from. She saw the coral necklace on Nola's neck and praised her beauty, complimenting on the coral necklace. She asked Nola if she could have a closer look at the necklace, and the princess obliged. Her mother, the queen, always adorned her with lots of coral necklaces. She had no idea why. The woman admired the design of a particular coral bead and how it radiated the beauty of the princess. Nola smiled courteously. In the blink of an eye, the fish seller brought out a small hidden knife from her palm and slashed at the coral bead. It splattered everywhere, leaving her dazed at the fish seller's actions. But she felt an energy awaken inside her, and she felt like one in a dream. The whole market was frozen in time. The people were all covered in ice and stopped still in their tracks. The fish seller was gone. She seemed to have disappeared. Nola was confused and worried. What had happened? Was she dead? She had so many questions. She suddenly heard a voice behind her. "Hi, Kiara." She knew that name. It was hers. But somehow, she didn't understand how. She turned swiftly and beheld a spirit, a young boy about her age. He had a green aura about him. She was shocked, but somehow he looked very familiar, and she remembered the experience she once had in the field a year ago. "I remember you," she said. "I feel like I've known you before. What happened? Am I dead?" He smiled and said, "No, you are not dead. I merely cast a spell to get a moment in time to speak with you in the spirit realm. I just freed you. You have been held hostage by this coral charm. It kept you bound to the mortal realm for so long. We had to try to save you." She took the charm, confused. "Why?" she asked. "Why would anyone do this?" "All your questions will be answered in time," he said. "For now, please let me take you home so you can be safe before the spell wears off." "Home?" she asked. "May I ask your name?" "Burka," he said with a smile. And they vanished. The spell wore off and the people unfroze to see the unconscious body of Nola lying on the ground. They panicked, screaming with fear, and they carried her body and rushed to the palace. The news had travelled further than the crowd, and the queen came out to see her daughter's unconscious body being carried by the villagers. She quickly rushed and carried her, screaming in pain. The king sent guards to search for the fish seller, but she was nowhere to be found. It was just like she disappeared. No one could remember knowing her or anything about her. It was all so strange. Numerous healers were immediately summoned to resuscitate the princess, but they all failed. It caused the king so much worry. He did not want to go through the pain of another loss. And worse, he couldn't watch his wife go through the dilemma again. A healer confessed to the queen that there was more to this than met the natural eyes. The queen knew what had happened because she couldn't find the coral necklace on Nola's neck. She pondered in fear. She had to tell the king, but she did not know how. She feared his reaction. She had spared him the knowledge because she never wanted to cause him pain. She had brought this upon them. He hadn't had a single meal for days because of the situation. He was a good man and always ready to sacrifice everything at a moment's notice for his family and kingdom. But she had to. The burden was more than she could bear. She summoned courage and went before his throne, knelt in tears, and told him everything. She expected the worst, but he stood up, raised her up to her feet and hugged her. He comforted her. They mourned in silence, and he reassured her that he would do his best to set everything right. Immediately, he sent his warriors to summon the witch doctor. They rode like the wind to the witch doctor's shrine. They were met with the ruins of the once elegant shrine. The warriors were shocked. It looked as if a lightning had decimated the shrine. There was nothing left of it. Whatever had done this was not to be trifled with. The scene stirred fear in the hearts of the warriors. He returned with the report to the king. It caused him to worry. His father had told him stories of the dreaded entity, the Omashi, the Spirit King. But he had to do this for his family, for his kingdom. "Assemble my shadow warriors," the king said. "We ride to the spirit realm at dawn." The forest was calm and serene, save the hooting of an owl. To a mortal eye, it was calm. But beyond the mortal vision, the ABIKU'S spirits ran agog, playing and laughing. They were wild and free spirits. They were different from the Omashi, while the Omashi were spirits of the shadows. Men and women from a time long forgotten, whom the Spirit King had absorbed their life force, making them one with him. The ABIKU were tree spirits, children of nature. They soon became subdued by the Spirit King and became his tool to wreak havoc on the mortal realm. They loved to play, and they seemed to never tire of it. A sound soon captured their attention, and they looked. It brought a big smile on their faces. A spark glowed in their eyes, filled with joy. They all rushed and hugged Nola. They never thought they would see her again. She was surprised. She knew they were familiar, but her memory seemed clouded. Somehow they knew what she was going through because they led her into the forest towards a big tree. She recognized the tree. She placed her hand on it, and immediately the tree lit up. An energy seemed to course through her, and the fog in her memory was lifted. She knew everything. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Continue the adventure with us in the next video. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single bit of our epic adventure.